I've played a bunch of games like Black Paradox because of this YouTube channel. There's so many of them, and most of them are terrible or don't bring anything new. I give up on them quickly, and I don't even bother to show them to you. Why waste any of our time? So if I'm making this video on Black Paradox, then you've already guessed that I think there's something here to consider. Yeah, there is. It's pretty good, although simplistic. I mean, come on, it even has a DeLorean as the ship. Black Paradox has all the basics covered. Plenty of enemies, bosses, weapons, and upgrades. Enough to keep each run unique. They spent their time in early access adding new content, which is great. If you're wondering about the name of the game, it's your name, but it's also the special move. You can call on a clone of yourself that shoots a random weapon. It comes in pretty damn handy. Anyway, the game loop is exactly what you expect. Play through a side-scrolling shmup with the boss at the end. The background of the level changes and enemies can come in from all sides. Each level will have one weapon you can choose to collect. You'll find that some are better than others, as usual in these types of games, like the railgun, which isn't that helpful, takes too long to charge, while the corrosive gun is fun because the blast will hit and corrode and spread to other enemies. Or how about the radius gun, which is so difficult to use since it shoots in the direction you moved last. It's nice that the game lets you carry two weapons at a time. I have found having one for levels and one for bosses works really well. Although there's a bit of a balance issue, the swarm gun is way too powerful. I hope that's something they'll fix. Keep in mind it's the same format for each level, but increases in difficulty. Especially that third boss, he's a real son of a bitch. After you finish off the boss, there are two rewards. First, you collect a bounty that goes towards your overall funds. These bounties increase as the bosses get more difficult. You also can select between two upgrades that last for the run. They're all passive, which is disappointing. It keeps the game more simple than it could be. There's no risks you can take to make the game more difficult for a reward. Luckily, there's a lot of drones because I find them to be delightful. There's laser, machine gun, and repair drones. It's like adding an extra firepower without even expending any thought. Although if I was going to pick, Nova Drift has a much more exciting upgrade system. Well, that's that. You'll end up repeating the first few levels a couple times to build up your cash, which you spend on global upgrades. These upgrades are what makes Black Paradox stand out from some of those other games. You visit the garage where you can place chips into the car. At the start, you can only slot 2, but you'll quickly buy 2 more slots for a total of 4. These span from giving your car a shield or sometimes shooting behind you, so they each have a special skill and stats. These kinds of improvements make it a lot easier to get further into the game. They're all passive though, just like the other upgrades, and it feels like on a long enough timeline you'll be super powerful. Black Paradox lands squarely in the grind to win category, which is fine if you know what you're getting into. It does get a little frustrating when the shop only has lower quality chips. I can't figure out when the stock changes. Before coming out of early access, there wasn't even an option to cycle the stock. Now that there is, it's better, but the chips that appear sometimes are so underpowered. I don't see the point. There's too much of a chance you'll get to the shop, not find anything, even after you cycle a couple times. It's also annoying when you cycle it to find a chip you really want, but now you're short on the funds. Come on! There's going to be a lot of grinding to get a bank big enough to cycle the chips and be able to buy one. This wasn't the solution I was looking for. Actually, I really want to stress that Black Paradox rewards playing the game a lot more than skill. Sure, getting deeper into a run will net you more money, but if the chip you want to buy isn't there, then the money just sits there and it feels like a waste. I can imagine a situation where I have a large bank and nothing to spend it on. It's pretty much happening to me right now. But the more you play, the more upgrades you'll see, the higher your stats are, and boom, once you're over the edge, you're pretty much guaranteed to finish the game. That's to say, there's no real progression in the game. Black Paradox tries to mix an arcade feel with some randomization, and it only works because there's so many weapons and upgrades. It's difficult to get excited about what I might come across in a run because I have no idea what's available. Also, when trying out new upgrades, they can pretty much ruin a run. Now I'm looking at you, power-up that I forget the name of, but it reverses the controls. It does make you more powerful, but having reversed controls is freaking impossible. I just gave up. I wasn't prepared for that one. That said, it's still a lot of fun when you do find a weapon or upgrade you've never seen before, or a new combination of them which makes you feel powerful. A side note, I love how the asteroids can hit enemies as well. Always like to see a little bit of chaos in a game that can screw with the enemies too. Overall, Black Paradox is fun and worth your time. It's a bit mindless, but I find it hard to put down, especially because of the art and music. This review seems a bit more negative than I actually feel towards Black Paradox, but I wanted to make sure and cover everything. The gameplay is solid, even if it's derivative of other games in the genre.
Hey, thanks for watching. Has anyone else seen this Reykjavik video where he talks about meta launchers? I've never had the need to use one. I've tried Play Night, there was no reason. Do you use one? I don't know.